Hello everyone, my name is Umesh. In this video, I am going to give the introduction about phishing. Basically, what is phishing and what is phishing attack? Phishing is a type of social engineering attack often used to steal your data, including login credential and credit card numbers. And the phishing occurs when an attacker, as a trusted entity, dupes a victim into opening an email, instant messages, or text messages. The recipient is then tricked into clicking some links, which can be leads to the installation of malware, the freezing of the system as the part of ransomware attack. And so many types of phishings are there like spear phishing, email phishing, link manipulation, fake website, CEO fraud, and etc. Let's know about some simple phishing examples. Very first is warming messages from your bank. Someone sending the messages by using the bank names and all. Once you click that messages, you will be hooked like a fish, and your contact and logo can be cracked by the cyber criminals. Then it could be cause for to lose your credential information or personal data. And the second one is unwanted email. The phishing scammer sending the unwanted emails to the user, and he watches your personal and financial information by using the generic source like email. Using that email, they can grab your money. Next is sending malware through email. The attacker send the messages through email to the user. That user once open that email, the malware is automatically installed in that system. After the installation, that system could be hacked by the attacker. The user cannot access that system because access permission will be denied. That access permission will be denied by the hacker. The hacker can have a permission to change that password, and he can grab the credential data of the user. This is what all about simple introduction about phishing. The next, my friends are going to explain in detail about phishing, types of phishing, and what are all the tools they are used for the phishing, and how to protect from the phishing attack. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, myself Ankaraju. Today I am gonna present a PPT on topic how phishing works. Phishing is a social engineering attack where the attacker entices his victims to give up their credentials for a given website by impersonating it. Believe it or not, phishing campaigns are well organized and follow a very strict playbook. This post target revealing some insight into how phishing effort functions in the engine, exhibit which framework phishers use to take clients' certifications and give guidance on the best way to safeguard against it. Next, we shall know about the phishing cycle. This is how phishing diagram can be seen, and by observing the diagram clearly we can see how phishing works. As visible in the schema above, the cycle of phishing can be broken down into 5 distinct phases. First one, the phisher tracks down a weak site and transfers its phishing unit. Generally, a phishing unit is a duplicate of the real site login page, like Google, Facebook, Dropbox, adjusted. So the certifications are presented on a little script that sends the taken qualification to the phishers and locks the casualty to the genuine site. Second one, the fisher lures its victim to his fake login page by sending emails. For example, they might ask the victim to login page by sending free stuff, increase quota, or review some sort of issue. Third one, the casualty visits the phishing page, inputs or login and secret word. Those certifications are prepared by the PHP script that diverts the clueless casualties to the genuine site. Fourth one, the PHP script sends the stolen credentials to an email address controlled by the phisher. And last one, the phisher gets a notice that an email is in his inbox. He logs in, recovers the taken qualification and captures the casualty account. Thank you. Next will be continued by Sujana.
Hello everyone, I am Sujana. My topic is types of phishing. There are mainly five types of phishing: email phishing, spear phishing, whaling phishing, smishing and wishing phishing, clone phishing. First one is email phishing. Most phishing attacks are sent by email and are not personalized or targeted to a specific individual or company. This is termed as bulk phishing. The content of the bulk phishing message varies widely depending on the goal of the attacker. Common targets for the impersonation including banks and financial services, email and cloud productivity provider, and streaming services. Attacker may use the credential obtained to directly steal money from the victim. Although compromised accounts are often used instead of a jumping off point to perform other attacks, such as theft of proprietary information, the installation of malware, or the spear phishing of other people within the target's organization. Spear phishing. There are two others more sophisticated types of phishing involving email. The first spear phishing describes the malicious email sent to specific person. Criminals who do this will already have some or all of the information about the victim: their name, place of employment, job title, email address, and specific information about their job role. One of the most famous data breaches in the recent history, the hacking of the Democratic National Committee, was done with the help of the spear phishing. The first attack sent emails containing malicious attachment to more than 1,000 email addresses. Its success led to another campaigning that tricked members of the committee into sharing their passwords. Whaling phishing. Whaling attacks are even more targeted, taking aim at the senior executive. Although the end goal of the whaling is the same as any other kind of the phishing attack, the technique tends to be a lot subtler. Tricks such as fake links and the malicious URL are not useful in this instance, as the criminals are attempting to imitate the senior staff. Scam involving bug stacks returns are increasingly common variety of whaling. Tax forms are highly valued by the criminals as they contain the host of useful information: names, addresses, social security number, and bank account information. Smishing and wishing. With both smishing and wishing, telephone replaces email as a method of communication. Smishing involves criminals sending messages, the content which the much the same as the email phishing, and wishing involves the telephone conversation. A common wishing scam involves the criminal posing as a fraud investigator, either from the card company or a bank, telling the victim that their account has been breached. The criminal will then ask the victim to provide the payment card detail to verify their identity or to transfer money into a secure account, by which they mean to criminal's account. Next one is clone phishing. Clone phishing is a type of phishing attack whereby a legitimate and previously delivered email containing an attachment or a link has its content and recipient address, taking and use it to create an almost identical or the cloned email. The attachment or a link within the email is replaced with a malicious version and then sent from the email address. Spoofed to appear come from the original sender. It may claim to be resend of the original or a updated version to be original. Typically, this requires either sender or the recipient to have been previously hacked for the malicious third party to obtain the legitimate email. Next will be continued by Soumya.
Hello everyone, myself Soumya. Now I am going to tell about tools used for phishing. Tools like InfoSec, Kingfisher, GoFish, Phishing Frenzy, Speedfish Framework, Social Engineering Toolkit, Lucy, and Simple Phishing Toolkit. Let us discuss one by one. Kingfisher. Kingfisher is a phishing campaign toolkit. Using this toolkit, we can test user by sending the malicious link via email using SMTP server and stealing user credentials. We use Kingfisher tool for promoting user awareness on real-world phishing attacks. This tool has very user-friendly interface, easy to use with multiple capabilities. This tool is built on Python languages. Kingfisher is an open source phishing tool, very flexible and also supports sending messages with embedded images and determining when emails are opened with a tracking image. Next one is GoFish. GoFish is an easy to use platform that can be run on Linux, Mac OS and Windows desktops. With GoFish, you can create and monitor phishing campaigns, landing pages and sending profiles. This phishing toolkit is intended to help penetration testers and business easily simulate phishing attacks with their organization. Phishing frenzy. Phishing frenzy documentation and information relevant up to date. Documentation can be found on the official. One of the main advantages compared to other tools is that it can manage the phishing test more efficiently and also manages the email phishing campaigns. Next one is SPF. SPF stands for Speedfish Framework. It includes a data entry attack vector. Three websites template are included with possibility of using custom template as well. While a tech service security professionals can have a lot of fun with SPF and will be able to run phishing campaigns against multiple targets. It is an email phishing toolkit written in Python designed to allow for quick recon and deployment of simple social engineering phishing exercise. Next, InfoSec. InfoSec IQ by InfoSec includes free phishing risk test that allows you to launch a simulated phishing campaigns automatically and receive your organization phish rate in 24 hours. And next one is Lucy. The first commercial product on our list, Lucy provides a hassle-free download of the free version of the platform. All you need is your email address and name, and you can download Lucy as a virtual appliance and Debian install script. The web interface is attractive and there are lots of features to explore. Lucy is designed as a social engineering platform that goes beyond phishing. Lucy enables organization to take on the role of an attacker and identify gaps in both the technical infrastructure and security. Lucy is a very powerful email phishing tool. Thank you. Next will be continued by Sushma.
Topic: How to rectify phishing. Phishing means stealing personal and financial data. Also can infect system with viruses. Phishing is a technique which is created fake or false email ID in additional to steal the information to a targeted person. Information like phone number, email ID, credit card details, etc. How to recognize phishing? Scammers use email or text messages to trick you into the given them your personal information. Request for a personal or business information in any unsolicited message. Request that you can change account details or perform other online activities. Any messages that uses fear, threats, a sense of urgency, or any offer too good to be true as motivator. Any message with a subject containing words like action required, urgent. Message that contain an odd or unexpected subject matter, incorrect grammar, punctuation errors, misspelling, etc. Short-ended URL which is often direct user to phishing websites. If they get the information, they could gain access to your email, bank, or other accounts. Scammer launch thousands of phishing attacks like this every day, and they are often successful. The FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center reported that people lost $57 million to phishing schemes in 1 year. Phishing emails and text messages may look like they are from a company you know or trust. They may look like they are from a bank, credit card company, a social networking site, an online payment website, or an online store. Phishing email and text message often tell a story to trick you into clicking on a link or opening an attachment. They may say they have noticed some suspicious activity or login attempts include fake invoice, want you to click on a link to make a payment, say you are eligible to register for a government refund, offer a coupon for free stuff. For example, Netflix. Netflix suspension notification be like this: we were unable to validate your billing information for the next billing cycle of your subscription. Therefore, we will suspend your membership if we do not receive a response from you within 48 hours. Obviously, we love to have you back. Simply we click on to update our payment details and continue to enjoy all the best TV shows and movies without interruption. While a glance, This email might look real, it's not. The scammer who send email like this one do not have anything to do with the companies they pretended to be. Phishing emails can have real consequences for people who give scammers their information, and they can harm the reputation of the companies. Next will be continued by Vignesh.
Good morning everyone, myself Vignesh and I'll be explaining about the topic called types of phishing scams. Before going to the types of phishing scams, my friend Sushma has been explained you about how does phishing works and what are the phishing scams, how does the phishing scams works. Next, let us see the types of phishing scams. Next, deceptive phishing. As you can see the diagram as explained with the steps with the arrow marks, the same thing has been explained here with the steps. That is, the fisher creates a phishing website in this server, which the arrow mark which has been shown here. This is the fisher who is going to create a website and stores it in the server. Next, after creating the website, the fisher sends the website with the link through the email to the victim. The fisher was sending through the email attachment to the victim. Next, the victim then clicks the link on the victim then clicks on the link and he directs to the phishing website. The victim who is here clicks on the response which has been sent through the fisher, that goes directly to the phishing website but not the target website. Then goes directly to the phishing website which has been created by the fisher. To that phishing website, right, the whatever the information which he wants, he gets it and through that phishing websites. Later, then the fisher goes to the target system and sends a response to the victim. This is all about deceptive phishing. Now let's see what is malware-based phishing. It refers injecting a code that can corrupt the systems. That is nothing but as viruses. The malware can be of any type by sending through the email attachments the same way which deceptive phishing, but here you can send the link to download the malware. The fisher creates a manual program so that when the user downloads the code, downloads that link, that automatically he corrupts the system so that he gets the information and through the link. Next, the victim also can download a link from any websites. Some of the fishers may create a websites same like the original, like Facebook. He can create, or the Twitter, or same how it has been said the same way. He creates one and he clicks and he puts a program in the website, and the user unknowingly downloads it, and it may get the manual code can be corrupted. Next is keyloggers. Keyloggers is nothing but a keyboard struct which is present in the keyboard. As you see here, the red color button is nothing but the red or green is nothing but the keystrokes. When you press a key, it gives you the red light, and the ASCII code which this represents goes to the fisher through the through the website which he has been created, or the code which he has been created. And this can also be possible if the malware has been installed by the victim, which the fisher has sent to the email attachments or downloaded through the websites. Next, session hijacking. This attack also based on malware or through online by tracking the session ID. Once a user victim sends a link through the witness, when the user is logging to any account, net banking or any account he wants, and the attacker uses that session ID through the malware code which is in this link, and he gets the session ID and gets the password and gets access to the account. Then he grabs all the information which he want, and grab how much like if you're using a net banking, he can grab the amount, how much of money you want. He grab the amount, and he can till the session till the user logouts, till that he can get this one amount how much ever he wants. When the session closes, out, the he also been has been logged out, so that after session logout he can't the access which has been given by the fisher ends out. Also, he can gain the important account password and access it whenever he wants. Once he get the information through that website, he can log out anywhere he wants. Next is system reconfiguration attacks. This can be done through the malware code, but that is codes which has been manually a script which has been put in the malware codes. The fisher can access the settings of a computer system and modify the settings and grab the URLs which he had bookmarked, and he can also change the website name that the user regularly visits through that malware code which has been done. Thank you. Now next will be continued by Chandana.
Hi everyone, myself Chandana. Today I am going to explain protection against phishing. Introduction. We cannot overestimate the importance of education when it comes to improving our awareness of phishing and other digital security. Knowing what to look out for in a phishing attack is important. Users also need to take concrete steps to deter phishers and keep their information safe. There are several steps to protect against phishing. First one, enter sensitive information only on secure websites. A majority of phishing attacks request that users send over their personal information either by email or by entering it into a fake login malicious websites. To protect against this tactic, try to submit your personal information only on secure websites. Second one, don't panic. Phishers commonly incorporate threats and a sense of urgency into their attack emails. Remain calm if you receive a threatening or otherwise alarming email. That way, you can make informed decisions and avoid falling victim to a phishing scam. Third one, in doubt, delete the email. Some suspicious email don't come with any usable contact information about the sender. If that's the case, try to research the sender and see if you can find out any information about them. If you are unable to do so, it's better to just delete the email and not take any chances with your computer security. Fourth one, contact the sender. If you receive suspicious email from a friend, family member, business, or other trusted source that seems suspicious out of character, contact them and confirm whether they actually sent you the message. They might say the date or they could reveal they were recently hacked. Fifth one, enable contact only on documents from trusted sources. Phishers like to infect users with malware is via malicious email attachments. Users need to approach the enable content button in Office documents carefully. When they know the document originated from the trusted sources, should they click enable content button. Sixth one, familiar yourself with a websites provide policy before signing up. Just because a website shows HTTPs does not necessarily means you should share your personal information with it. Be on the safe side, review the site's privacy policy and make sure agree with its terms and conditions. Seventh one, however, over suspicious URLs before click on them. Attackers like to trick their targets into clicking on the seemingly begin URLs that in actuality leads to a malicious domain. Fortunately, users can easily expose that ruse by hovering over a suspect URL. Does it link to where its text says it does? If not, you can be sure the URL's true destination is malicious in nature. Eighth one, exercise cautions around shortened links. Not all URLs give up their actual link locations when you over them. Shortened URLs such as bit.ly and tiny URL might help reduce URL size and track links. However, a URL that has been shortened reveals no information about its actual destination. Think twice before clicking on them. Install an Ninth one, install an antivirus solution on your computer. To help protect against a malware infection, install an antivirus solution onto your computer and make sure it is up to date so that it can detect the latest threats. 10th one, implement vendor updates as soon as become available. Exploit kits are most effective at targeting computers with known software vulnerabilities. Don't open yourself to attack by leaving these types of issues unpatched. Try to update